bien que coucou tout le monde, vous retrouvez OursonSensei sur Dawn of TD pour la suite de notre aventure sur The Technomancer. J'adore le faire avec l'accent anglais qui est vraiment horrible, mais c'est pas grave. Donc là je crois qu'on va voir la petite, si vous vous rappelez, on aidait notre pote Scott Seeker, qui est juste derrière nous, à retrouver une amie à lui, un peu ami à lui. Donc là on va voir. Ah bah Véronica, c'est une réponse.
Hey there, I'm looking for Charles Seeker. You know where I could find him?
And you are?
Zachariah Mancer. Professor and I have a mutual friend who's worried about him.
I know the feeling. Haven't seen him for days. I'm
C'est bizarre
Veronica
parce qu'il est avec
Seeker,
moi quand
the
même, le mec.
professor's
Donc,
assistant.
bon.
I got a message informing me he had taken an impromptu vacation, but it's not like him. He didn't even like to sleep, said it just wasted time. Even more unlikely in the middle of the research he was doing.
Yeah, seems a bit off, doesn't it? Professor was supposed to start some research with a friend of mine as well. I'm sure he'd already started work on it before leaving. You know anything about it?
Of course. I was involved with the professor's research, though I shouldn't discuss it with anyone without his consent. But with that last name Mancer, I suppose this technomancy research is of particular interest to you. Otherwise, most people barely bat an eye towards the scientific aspects of Technomancer powers.
If you're concerned that the message wasn't really from the professor, did you report his disappearance?
To the authorities? Of course not. The authorities, Mr. Mancer, have far more pertinent issues than this, which I am sure will work itself out in time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Veronica, I know I'm not exactly a prime physical specimen, but I should hope that I am still not so forgettable. Unless I'm wrong and we do not know each other, what is, after all, certain in this life? It might all just be a confounded
Il me plaît lui.
like the one I had last night, where trying to wear my pants as a shirt, I found my nose got caught in the zipper.
Professor Scott. Oh my. Hello. I am so sorry I did not recognize you. You should have told me earlier to save me from this embarrassment. Was it you who was planning a collaboration on the Technomancer research? I'm afraid the professor's vocal railings against the ASC and their ceaseless power grabs might have finally come back to bite him. He would even preach to his colleagues and the listeners at conferences. I would give anything to be wrong, of course, but hope is oftentimes incongruous with the reality we must come to face.
Oula, d'accord, directos.
Hi, Scott.
Ouais, et alors?
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope.
Oui. D'accord.
Zachariah, could you... Anyway, could I talk to you in private?
What's going on?
I know that I'm asking a lot of you, but I was wondering if maybe you could continue to investigate. You are someone important now. You know a lot of people. They can tell you if Veronica's suspicions are justified.
I could probably talk about it with my captain, or tap into some contacts in the know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to be sure, you see. I think that you need to recover his latest research. I strongly believe that, besides what he said, he found something dangerous. The ASC, they're thugs. We must not allow sensitive scientific research to fall into their hands. The risks are too high.
I'll see what I can do, but I doubt that Veronica will give me Charles's documents willingly. She's very protective of her boss's work.
Ok.
Why did Charles start getting...
Quoi, je peux lui parler
Veronica,
encore?
I need a favor. I'm looking for access to the professor's compiled research documents. Might be a big help to me.
It's just not my work to share, Zachariah. If he came back, I don't think he'd be too pleased to find out I handed it away. You ever find out what happened to him?
Still looking for leads. Just finding dead end after dead end. I'm still looking.
I keep hoping he just took a vacation. I know better.
Ouais, je suis... Bon, ok, elle veut pas me laisser voir les trucs. Aïe aïe aïe. Et on mène les petites enquêtes, hein, voilà. Et du coup là-bas c'est quoi qu'il y a? Ah ok, je vois qui c'est.
Lost 10 doses of serum the other day. Bad bet in the arena at the Curiosities. Why doesn't it have my head up this keeps on?
Attendez.
Easier said than done.
Dégage toi. Hop là. Là je me disais bien que c'était lui.
What are we doing here?
If there's anyone who knows where the professor is, besides the guys who made him disappear, it's this guy right here. Anton Rogue knows everything and everyone in Ophir.
Mr. Mancer, the sight of your face has started to give me agita. To what do I owe the displeasure this time?
Hop là.
Professor Charles Seeker. I'm looking for what happened to him. What can you tell me?
The dangers of having a mind, of using it, and especially of speaking it, I'm afraid. His research and political opinions push the line, and patience of some. Funny how smart and wise don't always go hand in hand. That said, word is he boarded a train. Not so much a pleasure trip, more like a forced hiatus given the military escort and the colonel's re-education camp he was bound for. No matter the power of the mind, the power of a gun always seems to gain the upper hand in the end, don't you think?
Ooh.
I gotta go.
Then go.
Donc on a eu des infos en plus. Ça veut dire que vu que là on a des infos en plus, on peut retourner voir Demoiselle qui est à VOMG. J'en ai marre de faire des allers-retours comme ça. Bon, j'avoue que c'est la base des RPG. Oula, oula. Bon, voilà un petit peu de piment. Hey, 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 voilà. Non mais oh. Bah voilà. C'est bien ça. Alors est-ce que c'est joli au moins? Ah bah c'est plus classe. On est beau là. Voilà. Hop, hop. C'est plus classe comme ça. Je sais pas si c'est meilleur mais c'est plus classe. C'est beaucoup plus classe. En plus on doit pouvoir l'améliorer.
Veronica, I need a favor. I'm looking for access.
It's just not my work.
Hop là.
From what I could gather, he was arrested and thrown into the correctional camp. Apparently his criticism of the government was more important to them than his work. Times we live in, I guess.
I don't even know what to... Such a loss. A waste. Maybe his work shouldn't be abandoned. If he's not coming back anytime soon, or at all, then you can
Merci
be good with it.
beaucoup. Donner les recherches. Ok, tiens.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy. How are you? Nothing broken, I hope.
Unfortunately, I've received confirmation of what Veronica suspected. Charles was arrested and deported to a camp as a punishment for his comments. I'm sorry, Scott. I did bring back his research, though, since you wanted it.
Thank you, Zachariah. Camp. How awful. But what is happening to our dear abundance?
Oula, elle bug,
won't
elle,
be
salut.
the world if we get rid of our scientists. Anyway, I'll take a look at these documents. No doubt our dear Charles was worried. They're coded. It's funny, it reminds me of the code we used as students, so that the professors wouldn't know about our adventures. All this is a little far away. I'm gonna have to think about it. Thank you, Zach. Thanks again.
Et si... Bon. Ah bah là c'est plus proche la sortie. On va aller faire les autres quêtes, non? Dire ce qu'on a découvert sur les reliques. Bonsoir Jupette. Au revoir Jupette. Un beau chargement. Les pièges sont des puissances explosives bien employées. Ils peuvent grandement vous faciliter la tâche. J'avoue que ça fait pas mal de dégâts. Surtout quand les groupes ils sont paquets. Ça permet de faire des bons dégâts de zone. Ouais, je vais juste vers le... Oh là, c'est chiant qu'on puisse pas sauter dans le jeu par contre. Alors... Ah non, on peut rien modifier. Oh, c'est bête. Ouais. On peut rien, on peut rien. C'est dommage parce qu'elle était classe la veste. Elle était classe. Ah, celui-là on a du crochetage. On va garder la veste d'aspirant, mais on va garder la veste aussi au cas où. Par exemple, si on a quelque chose à crocheter, au moins ça nous fait des points en plus pour crocheter. Ça peut être pas mal. Bon, avant d'aller recevoir cette sorte de mission, on va dire à notre cher ami ce que nous avons découvert. Bon, ils peuvent pas me louer une bicyclette là? Non? Petite bicyclette. Avec une bicyclette, j'aurais la classe, moi. Ouh, elle c'est assez vite, elle. Ah oui, il faut être 2 Technomancer. Pour ouvrir la porte, ok. Bon système de sécurité, vous allez me dire. Oh, belle église.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I finally managed to meet the merchants you told me about. It wasn't easy. The mob kidnapped them for serum. I freed them before talking to them.
I'm sure gratitude helped to loosen their lips. So what knowledge was gleaned from such lengths?
Word that Aurora is running large-scale excavations along the shadow paths near our territory, and in the process uncovering important objects, maybe even a relic.
Fascinating. Finds that are no doubt better off in our hands than those of Aurora's Technomancers. Keep those merchants close, Zachariah. Information like that is such a priceless commodity. You are no more free to roam than the rest of us. Of that I have no doubt. But if you find yourself with access to a rover and perhaps find a way to that excavation site and locate the relic, well, you cannot know the value it might hold if brought back to us. It may seem petty. It's a mission for some rusty relic that may or may not even exist. However, if you are able to slip away from Ophir...
D'accord. Tiens, va.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
What about?
We're looking for a scientist who disappeared. Name's Charles Seeker. All I found is some of his research. Seems he was studying Technomancers before getting arrested and sent to a camp.
Charles Seeker? Yes, the geneticist. Geneticists pose a risk. Scientific discoveries are always threatening to expose our secrets. Your friend Scott even worked on the same research years ago. Never found out what Scott did or didn't discover, though. He ended up drinking himself into irrelevance. So I stopped worrying. Whatever research you found, make sure no one sees it.
Il y a des choses
Could be
factions
our
quand même à
downfall.
faire. Ouais.
Do we know what forces Aurora deployed to protect the site?
The greatest challenge shall be their own Technomancers. I am certain they'll be supported by numerous soldiers and laborers willing to lay down their lives in their defense.
Okay.
But I have faith in you, Zachariah Rogue Mancer.
Merci. Bon, ben on part. Allez. Qu'est-ce que j'ai obtenu? Oh chier. Il me faut 2 de pouvoir. Il me faut 2 de pouvoir. Allez. Sortons d'ici. Oh là, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Lieutenant Zachariah Mancer. What a pleasure.
Hello, sir. I don't think I've had the honor of meeting you before.
Ah, of course. I am Colonel Victor Watcher of the ASC.
Colonel.
At ease, Lieutenant, at ease. Simply came to congratulate you and learn that you become a Technomancer of the highest degree. For a young man from the Road family, this is a terrific achievement.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Your road must have been difficult, but you persevered. An outsider who managed to work his way into the ranks of the elite Technomancers. A marvelous story, especially given their secrecy. They've always fascinated me. Do you have any insight as to why they chose to be so insular?
I'm sorry, Colonel, but I don't know what you mean.
What a shame. By coming to you out of friendship and camaraderie, I was hoping that you wouldn't treat me like an outsider, too. All right, then. Back to your duties. But think about what I asked, and we'll see each other again.
Et d'un coup il a disparu là. Ouais, c'est quoi là-bas? Une quête. Ah oui, ceux qui m'ont dit d'être près des marchands, mais je vais pas faire ça aussi toute ma vie. Vous voulez voir de l'action, des quêtes principales, voilà. Mais je suis curieux moi, ouais. Ah bah tiens, c'est eux. Je peux pas te parler toi? Il te manque pas un bras?
Hello, Fiorello.
Ah, our savior is here. It's wonderful to see you again.
You seem a bit preoccupied. Things not going well?
No, it has. Everything has gone very well because of your efforts. Let's just say that my leave of absence didn't help my business. Don't think I'm not grateful, friend. I appreciate the thought. What can I do for you?
Allez, on
Can
va
I
parler
ask
un
what
petit peu.
corporation you're from?
Not to take
bien.
anything away
Voilà.
from your corporation. It's technical miracles, beautiful city, and all the rest.
Bon, je lis en même temps, donc vous mettrez pause si vous avez envie.
So how does it all work? You merchants trade with each other too, or?
Our lives would be impossible otherwise. The travel required to collect a vast array of... For instance, a fellow merchant is traveling to your hydroponic farms as we speak, and is gathering goods that he will swap with me to bring back to Alliance's territory. And we would be at a loss without each other.
Ouais, bon, en fait, c'est...
Who's the girl? She doesn't exactly look like a merchant.
It is a good question. I found her tied up in the warehouse that we were dumped in. The poor thing cannot even remember her own name. Figure she must have family or friends around here though, so I keep her with me, hoping someone might recognize her. Just banking on luck though. Maybe as an officer, you might be able to check and see if someone has reported her missing.
Oh,
I'm sure her
petit
family
bug.
would be grateful, as I would.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Officer Mancer. You are a man of endless generosity.
Ouais, pas la peine de me cirer les pompes non plus. Hein.
Listen, maybe I can help. What's going on?
You are too kind. I am so deeply indebted to you. Anyway, yes, I am a little worried. More than a little, to be truthful. 2 of my regular clients, after the kidnapping, must have assumed the worst and just left. Haven't heard from them. No one but you, I admit, cared enough to come to look for me. That said, their merchandise is here, but I have no way of telling them I am back without the risk of exposing myself. I don't mean to treat you like my errand boy. I only asked because you offered your help. Anyway, if you could let them know, I could compensate you as well. One of them, I'm sure you know.
You know where the merchant's at?
Of course, of course. If you have a map, I could show you.
Aïe aïe aïe. Whoa.
Look at you. Glad to see you. Can't tell you how much your help was. It is appreciated. Well, things might have worked themselves out in time, but who has time these days? And you sure saved me the hassle. You're a Technomancer?
I am. Zachariah Mancer.
I'm lucky, in name and in life. You Mancers all stick together. Know each other real well, don't you?
Know each other, maybe, but we're scattered between here and the front.
Right, right. The front. Of course, the front. So, I take it you know where I can find I believe his name is Master Connor?
He's still in town, away from the front, training recruits.
Lucky again. Just what I wanted to hear. Think you might be up to do me a favor?
Either way, I'm here. Tell me what you need.
Simple. To meet Master Connor and relay some information. With your help, of course. Without your help, well, being just a simple merchant, unwelcome outside the exchange, I suppose it'd be a bit harder. If not, you know, impossible. You know as well as I do, a common merchant can't just stroll up to the likes of a master. So, you get me in front of him, and I'll owe you one. How about that?
I'll see what I can do.
C'est
And
un peu
I'll be
étrange
much
quand même.
obliged.
C'est un peu étrange, salut. Ah, on peut pas te parler toi?
Mr. Mancer, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Never noticed all the beggars in the neighborhood. This a new thing?
No. They've been here way too long, if you ask. Not a clue where they're coming from. All I know is they keep pouring in. Me and my colleagues would pay a hefty sum to anyone who could get them out of here and move them to the slums or somewhere.
I can try.
Ok. Attends, je voudrais juste voir.
Where'd you find the girl?
So when you arrived, perhaps she cut, but maybe.
Ok. Bon. Salut.
Serum, sir. Got a drop for a poor war cripple?
No, I don't. You gotta move it along, pal.
Where you want me to go? One block over, any better for you?
Listen, I'm sorry. I am. I get it. Life's kicked you in the balls, and you're just trying to survive. And if you were the only one begging these streets, it'd be different. But you're not. It's you and countless others making it really hard for the merchants to conduct their business. Merchants who, if I don't get you out, are more than willing to ask much less kindly. So I'm just asking you to move it somewhere else.
Life might have kicked me in the balls, but it was the smuggler who took my arm. Promised to kill me if I leave these streets.
The smuggler.
I had nothing here. All abundance held for me was pain and trouble. Know what that's like? To only know misery? To be so desperate a bit of hope shines like the only ray of light you've ever seen.
Ouais, bah tu t'es fait
That's
avoir,
what
je pense.
it was when I met him. Promise of better. A chance to start again in Aurora, where I could rebuild my life.
Didn't work out that way?
No, sir. Had me driven to a warehouse where I signed some papers I didn't even read. That's what hope gets you, I guess. Once he had him, he threatened to turn them over to the ASC if I didn't work for him. Pickpocket at the market and give him everything I stole.
Which you did.
Steal or die, which would you choose, sir? Even then, after time, I couldn't keep quiet. Too much pride, I guess. So I spoke up, and from my trouble, lost my arm and was sent to the streets to beg for him. I leave the street, I die. I fail to bring him enough serum, I die. I refuse his orders, I go to the ASC, I die. I
ask you, is this living?
It's surviving, at least.
Eh bien, il y a pas mal de sushis quand même. Allez, je retrouve encore de route.
Yeah, I have. But they'll have a hard time finding people. The hazard...
Hey, mister! No, I don't. And you folks...
We gotta... You gonna...
No, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, you think? Really?
I've heard the stories. Promised to help you escape, then made you steal.
That's right. But more than just mine, sir. Many more.
Know where to find this guy?
Yes, sir. At the station, sir. But you ain't gonna get near him just like that, sir. He'll see you coming blocks away. Look a little more poor, dirty.
I hear you.
Ouais, mais je trouve où les rayons du mendiant. Eh oui. Eh oui, eh oui. Je dois pouvoir trouver ça quelque part, mais vous savez quoi? On le trouvera dans le prochain épisode, eh oui. Donc j'espère que cette série en tout cas vous plaît. Moi elle me plaît, ça va. Là ça fait 3 épisodes où je tourne un petit peu fatigué, mais c'est normal avec tout ce qui arrive en ce moment. Mais en tout cas moi j'espère que ça vous plaît. Au moins c'est tranquille, on est calme. Donc voilà, je vous fais des babouilles. N'hésitez pas à partager, à vous abonner, c'est ce qu'il faut, et faites vivre la chaîne. Je vous en remercie. Babouille.